Hey folks, well it is the next day. My phone ran out of juice towards the end of the day because it's really hot out here. So with it being in the sun, it killed it. Well, that said, we do end plates together here, and so I gotta get the end plates, get them cut, get them stained, and then I can start putting this deck together. All right, so the first thing we're gonna need to do today is I need to cut 2 5-foot pieces for the ends of the deck, since it's 5 feet wide. And then I need to cut footers for the strapping on the outside of the plate. And then I need to cut some 3-footers, and that'll just get us started with the wrapping. Now I am gonna double plate the 2 ends, and so it'll basically match up to the double plates in the deck on the lengths, on the spans. So I'll show you what I'm talking about as I get ready to start putting it together. But for right now, let's get to cutting the cut. So the boss came out and she decided to give us a hand today. So she is sitting there staining our future deck boards. All right, so while she is getting that stained, I've got some more prep work that I have to work on the base foundation of the porch here. So that's what I'm gonna be working on. Mainly, I have to secure the footers to the cross beams here, and so we've got these plates. We are using screws, so we've got this side done. Got a few more that we've got to get done. So yeah, we're just gonna keep plugging away at it. Okay, so it seems that I screwed up. The overall length of the porch is supposed to be 16 feet. I cut my joists, 2 joists at 8 foot each. So when I join those 2 8-footers together, I get 16 feet. What I didn't take into consideration was the end plates. Now the end plates are approximately 1.5 inches wide. So, and since I'm doing a double plate on all 4 sides, that means I'm going to add 3 inches to one end and 3 inches to the other end. Combined, that's 6 inches. So if I were to build it the way that it's set up now, my overall length would actually be 16 feet 6 inches. Now, I don't want that. I want a 16-foot overall length of my porch. And so what I have to do now is go back and cut 3 inches off of each board. Now, the question becomes, well, why don't you just cut 6 inches off of one board? Well, the problem is that I'm joining two 2x6s, 2 8-footers. And I want the joint to rest on the 4x4 foundational support. And so if I cut 6 inches off on one end or 6 inches off on the other end, I'll have to move that to make sure that it's squared up with where we want it against the cabin. And so I think the best way to do it is to take 3 inches off one end and 3 inches off the other end for a total of 6 inches. That way my joint will stay on the 4x4 where where that'll be the strongest. And I don't have to worry about any issues with the joint not, staying together. So, yeah, kind of a big goof, but it's not going to take me very long to fix it. I've already cut the first one, and then we'll come back after I cut them, and then we'll stain the ends just to make sure that we protect the wood.
So that's more work for the boss.
Yeah, that's more work for the boss. All right, so now that I have fixed my error, we've gone ahead and cut the 3 inches off of all of the boards. The next step here is that we need to join these 2 here in the back. And the way we're going to do is we're going to take this 10-footer, we're going to put it across it, fasten it all together, and then we'll add the extensions later. But for now, this will get us that double plate I was talking about earlier, at least up against the cabin side. Then we're going to do this side here. Well, we're going to take a few minutes because it is terribly, terribly hot right now. And then we'll go ahead and fasten these. Holy smokes, is it hot. My goodness gracious. Yeesh. Well, I guess I can't really complain too much because, you know, when we had all that rain, we were just complaining about all the water and that we couldn't be out here working. Well, now we're out here working. We've got all of our joists together. So the next step really, Sue, what in the world are you doing? What is he doing? He must have found something. He's all giddy over there. Oh boy. All right, well, we'll let Sue do whatever he's doing. The next step for us is we're gonna put the end plates on. We're gonna put, 5-foot end plates. And yeah, so let's put our end plates on. So I have told you folks 100 times, I am not a contractor, and most of my builds are, they look great. I am getting better, there's no doubt about that, but you know, they do need some love. After a whole lot of messing with the squareness of our deck, we are finally in the process of putting our hurricane fasteners on. So that's what Jen, the boss, is doing right now. I confess there were a few dimensions that I messed up on. I've already talked about one of them. The other one was, anyways, that was terrible. I don't even want to talk about it. It was so bad. But you know, when you're putting plates on, if you look at this joint here, this is a 5-foot, it's the outside joist. You don't typically want your boards in parallel with each other. You want them kind of crisscross, and I'll show you what I mean after we're finished with this. But yeah, unfortunately I did it the way that I didn't want to do it, but it just came out that way. And I don't have enough lumber to go back and fix it, so we're just gonna run with what we've got and go from there. So, well, it has been a very long day. We got a lot done. Unfortunately, it doesn't, it may not look like it, but all the joists are in place. We've got our plates on. Now, what I was talking about earlier, which is just unfortunate, but so this corner here, what I should have done is I should have taken this board here and ended it here and extended this one out here and then tied this one in. This just isn't as strong, but unfortunately I just have to kind of deal with the cuts that I made and the original design I did. And I don't know why I did it like that, but I can assure you of this will be the last time that I ever make that mistake. But certainly something I've learned from. I won't be doing that again. Now I am overkilling on these hurricane ties. I have one on this side and then one on the other side as well. Show you there. And then we've got 2 here. It just feels stronger. I don't know if I need more or not, but the other thing is I've got the joist hangers here on the 2 center joists. I ran out of the hurricane brackets, so I've got to go to the store tomorrow and grab more of those. But I think other than that, I mean, we're almost done with this, with the framing here. All we got to do now is just tape these, and then finish installing the hangers, and then we can start putting the deck on, and that's going to be fun. The deck boards themselves are hemlock. They're 1-inch hemlock boards. And we've got them here. We picked them up yesterday. We're going to go ahead and stain those as well. The whole deck will be stained. And once we are done with putting the deck boards, then we'll start working on building the support beams for the roof. So looking forward to that. It has been a long day. Jen and I are exhausted. We're going to wrap up dinner. We're going to call it a night and jump back on this tomorrow morning. Hey folks, it's the next day. Got home from the store in Maine. There's a store here called Martin's. You can kind of buy everything at discount. It's not a thrift store, or at least I wouldn't consider it as a thrift store. There's a lot of stuff they have. It's not used. It's almost like it's overstock, of some of the major outlets. And then, the guys at Martin's, they buy it and then they resell it at a discount. I buy all my screws there, and they're not the best screws in the world, but for general purpose, they're not so bad. I gotta show you how they sell them. This is what's always gotten me. So they sell them in these bags. So you basically fill the brown paper bags up with your screws, and that's how you carry them. The problem with that is that if you get a lot of screws, that bag rips pretty easy. And yeah, as you could guess, all the screws come falling out. Not that I know that from personal experience, but yeah, it's not fun. All right, so we also got our hurricane fasteners here. So we're gonna take these and we're gonna go finish installing these guys on the floor joists. The reason we're doing this is to make sure that everything is nice and secure. We don't want this porch moving around on us. So yeah, there it is. It's coming along just fine. Hopefully today we're going to be able to get the hurricane in, and then I got to tape this, and then it's just a matter of getting the planking on. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. All right, so while I attack the hurricanes, why don't we go take a look in the garden and see what Jen's up to?
Working on weeding the garden today while Jason's working on the back porch. We have had so much rain. A lot of the plants have not liked this much water, so they're kind of stunted. The last couple days, we're going to be getting rain again this weekend. Potato towers are doing real well. Garlic and tomato plants seem to be doing okay. Got this bed done. Gonna work on this one.
All right, so now that the foundation and the joists are all set and finished, it is all ready for boards.